There's little doubt that the most controversial university in the nation today is the University of California at Berkeley. In recent years, the peace, free speech, filthy speech movements have captured the headlines, and more recently the strike of the students at Berkeley. With us now is Mr. Jerry Rubin, one of those whose arrest led to the strike, but even more notably, he is also the young man who disrupted the session of the House Committee on Un-American Activities attired in a Revolutionary War uniform. Of course, he was kicked out. You and lots of other people were kicked out on that particular day.
Including our attorney was kicked out by the chairman of the House Committee, Chairman Poole of Texas.
He was ruled out of order.
He was defending one of his clients who was mentioned by somebody and was not allowed the opportunity of cross-examination. At this point, a very unusual event happened. Chairman Poole asked Mr. Conoy to stop. Mr. Conoy continued, and by the neck, he was dragged out, which was a very unusual activity in a congressional committee.
Well, he did start to scream, and he was illegal. He was unlawful. In addition to being disorderly, he was doing something that was not in keeping with the rules and regulations of the committee, which they do not extend to attorneys the power of cross-examination. You're aware of that?
I think that the dragging out of Mr. Conoy is a serious embarrassment for everybody in Washington.
Just after we went off the air, Mr. Rubin asked me if I really disliked him as much as I seemed to from my last remarks before the commercial. And I said, yes, I do. Yeah. I do not say things here that I don't believe. Now, how can I dislike someone I've never met? Well, I dislike the fact that you went to Cuba as Castro's guest in 1964. You claim to know all about the law, you claim to know about the value of the law and free speech, and you want it to come before the American people, but you yourself won't obey the law. You won't obey our laws governing travel in and out of the country. You consort with the enemies of this country. This alone, if you didn't do anything else, is reason enough to consider you a menace. When was the last time you paid income tax?
I guess last time, 1960. I don't think this is really relevant to
you worked
issues
in
of war and peace.
Why didn't you pay it in 61?
61. Why don't we discuss issues of war and peace?
We will.
I mean, why don't we discuss these things, you know?
We will. We will. All these things are relative, you see. You don't know what I'm thinking, do you? You can't get behind my eyeballs.
Yeah, this sounds very much like the House Committee on Un-American Activities.
Maybe that's why you're so nervous.
Yeah.
We'll be back to our guest. Give him time to catch his breath and wire home for money after these words. All right. To begin with, this man who sits next to me, I don't know what you do, but he advocates disobedience of law. This is a nation not of men, but of laws. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand what it means to obey the law and disobey the law, do you not?
Yes.
Now, if this man goes through due process and gets the law changed, that is his privilege. But to advocate disobedience of the law, to aid and abet law-breaking, that is something else.
Would you have obeyed the laws of Nazi Germany?
If you were in Germany...
Sir, we're not in Nazi Germany.
No, I'm just addressing myself to your point that we must have absolute obeying of the law. That's what you said. I'm just wondering...
I said absolute obeying of the laws until such time as you can have them changed through the American way of life. This is not lying in front of troop trains. This is not marching up and down in a disorderly manner or going into a Senate hearing wearing a tricorn hat and acting like Paul Revere. That's not the way to do it.
Look,
you are a disruptor. You are a man
Pyne,
that...
Are you willing to hear my views?
As soon as I finish
I don't have to hear you calling me names. If you want to hear my views,
do what you want. You want to walk away?
Okay. I think this is a circus and that you're a fool and that we're not in any way discussing
You're a liar and a danger to the country.